Each other, okay? Go ahead. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
All right, let's pause right there for just a quick second. You're probably wondering, how do you shoot a sparkler exit? Thankfully, I had the opportunity to shoot 2 sparkler exits last weekend, and I just wanted to walk you guys through how I did it, where I put my flashes. Did I use flash? Did I not use flash? Obviously, I did, because I just mentioned that I did. And what were my settings? And how do you go about doing this and organizing this? Well, let me break this down for you really quickly. Let's look at Nick and Courtney's wedding from Friday night. All right, here we are at Nick and Courtney's wedding. You can see there's 2 lines forming. The event staff is out there helping us, and we're telling them to raise the sparklers up because we do not want to get burned. We do not want to have the couple get burned either. So that's a big step, big important piece. Lighting the sparklers, and you can see they have the long sparklers. These last around 3 to 4 minutes. And here comes the couple, and what I tell them to do is I tell them to freeze in the middle. My lighting, you see the flash behind them? That is there to illuminate the smoke coming off the sparklers and give them a little rim light. They kiss in the center, I take a bunch of photos, and then they keep coming on. And there's another flash that I have set up behind me, and you'll see it in a second here, illuminate them right now. And that is just giving them a little bit of fill light in the front. I don't want to rely fully on the sparklers to light them up. It's a little bit difficult to do. They ran through again because we have a long sparkler runtime, because these sparklers burn for 3 or 4 minutes. You can see I'm doing video and photo, and I'll show the video clip here as well so you can see what the final piece looks like. So they do a little twirl, they give a little kiss in the center. I tell them that beforehand, and then they run through and keep on coming. So here's a final image. You can see that rear flash really lights them up, and it illuminates the smoke from the sparklers. You need that rim light to be able to see the smoke. It also gives a beautiful little blue tint off. My Kelvin, I believe, is down to like 35, maybe 4,000 Kelvin, and that is for the sparklers because it's a little bit more orange, and it gives a cool tone to the sky and to the smoke. And here's a final image, one of my favorites from the sparkler exit, and you can see that flash that's behind me is illuminating them a good bit, but you do get that shadow, that harsh line that comes across their bodies. So that's one of the downsides to that, but I don't ever want to rely on the sparklers to illuminate them solely just with the sparklers. I want to have another backup light source. Let's move on to Ryan and Lauren's wedding. All right, we're at Ryan and Lauren's wedding, and the first thing that you might notice is that the sparklers are much, much shorter. They are not the long sparklers. These only burn for maybe a minute of length. You can see I'm bringing them in front of this rear flash here. I put the flash much lower this time. This will keep the light behind them, and it won't cause any harsh shadows falling onto them either. So just listen to what I say.
Hey, very slow. Look at each other, okay? Go ahead. Slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, slow it down.
Just like before, I told them to stop halfway, give each other a kiss, and then keep on coming towards me. We are still raising the sparklers up high. We are still moving. Now we're moving a little bit slower, but they were running a little bit fast. And my second light source right there on the top left, it's the ambient light from the building. I didn't have to put a flash behind me this time because I knew that light source would give us enough exposure for them. Again, we ran through a second time. We had enough time to move through a second time, and they gave another kiss, and we just kept shooting. So a lot of fun. Here's some final photos from that little sparkler exit. You can see the flashes directly behind them, illuminating even more smoke from the sparklers this time than in the last photo. And you can see that there's a lot of ambient light on them. I boosted my ISO a bit more, and there was a lot more ambient light from the building. So those are the 2 final photos from the sparkler exit. There's a whole bunch more, but these are just the 2 that I edited. Again, let's do a little recap. So those are the 2 sparkler exits that we shot a few weeks back. One for Nick and Courtney on Friday night, one for Ryan and Lauren. And the nice thing about being able to do that 2 nights in a row is that I get to practice a little bit more than I'd be able to. Sometimes I go months without doing a sparkler exit, and so I was able to take what I learned on Friday night and apply it to Saturday night, what was working, what wasn't working, that sort of thing. So I want to recap real quick. What do you need to do in order to shoot a sparkler exit at your next wedding, assuming you've never shot one before? Step 1, I would put a flash behind your couple. I would do off-camera flash, put the flash behind your couple that illuminates the smoke, that allows for some great little rim light on them, and just creates a general nice atmospheric look for the sparklers. 2, I would look around for a light source. That might be from a building, that might be from a flash that you put behind you pointing towards the couple. That will illuminate the couple a little bit more, give some ambient light, make sure that they're not solely in the dark. The third thing you could do is you could just run just boosting your ISO, no flashes, and just relying on the sparklers to light them up. I think that results sometimes in really grainy imagery, but to each their own, and it might work for you. It works for some people. This is just my approach to shooting sparklers. You want to make sure that you tell the guests to hold their sparklers up really high. I've heard horror stories of photographers being burned. If you know ahead of time that the bride and groom are going to do a sparkler exit, maybe let them know to get the really, really long sparklers. They burn for 3 to 4 minutes. You can run through multiple times. Before the couple comes out, I would go up to them and tell them, hey, I want you guys to come very slowly through the fire tunnel, essentially. Stop halfway and give each other a kiss. Look at each other the whole time, and then remind them right before they start running. Tell them, go ahead, walk towards me, look at each other the whole time. And that's all you really need to do. And then just have fun with it. It's difficult. It's really on-the-fly training, on-the-job training. You can't really practice this because you need a whole bunch of people to do so. So learn on the job. It's a good thing you're watching this video. Maybe check out some other photographers' videos who might cover sparkler exits. And I hope you guys have a really good shoot, and best of luck to you. It's really difficult, but it feels really good when you nail the shots. What questions do you have for me? I'd love to know if you have any questions about sparkler exits, photography in general. I am going to be putting out a lot more videos. I just moved. This is the new office. I'll give an office tour pretty soon. But I'm glad you're with me, and I hope you learned something. Subscribe if you haven't already, and maybe share this video with a friend who might find this content valuable, and I will catch you guys in the next video.